This would have been an organizing area for guard duty. There'd be an officer or captain of the watch that's going to address the men and issue them what their assignments are each day. These men were divided up into companies, and they say got a company of 20 men. Their duty for the day is to guard the bulwarks and maybe company work detail. The threat level between the Powhatan and the English are very high during this time period, so the fort had to be guarded constantly, 24 hours a day. And each and every man in the fort would have taken his turn at guard duty, probably once or twice a week. We're not really sure. We're looking at about 150 men here in 1610, give or take a few. Mortality rates were very high in Virginia throughout the company period, mainly due to the bad water and the humidity, not to mention Indian attacks and disease. Welcome, folks. Welcome to guardhouse. Feel free to look about, folks. If y'all have any questions, I'll be glad to answer. This is where guard detail is going to assemble and organize each day. This is where the company keeps all surplus weapons and equipment. The matchlock musket proves to be the decisive weapon in our war against the natives. Natives are using primitive weapons, but their main long-range weapon is going to be a stone-tipped arrow, which had an effective range of about 40 yards. I'll pass that around. That is made with a reed shaft with a stone point. Armor is going to play an important role as offers you a certain level of protection against those weapons. A stone-tipped arrow would actually shatter when it hits this sheet iron breastplate. So a bit of protection in the way of armor. The Powhatan Indians are fighting more of what we call a guerrilla type of warfare, from tree to tree and gully to gully. And they never will hurl their entire force against the English at any given time. It was more of a surprise, an ambush type of warfare, which the English are not accustomed to. Men would be out working the tobacco fields. The next thing you know, arrows come hurling out of the tree line. They're going to pick men off slowly, one at a time, in hopes that the English will pursue these attacking warriors, which will eventually wind up in all the English being killed that do pursue these natives. So their English will eventually take the war to the Powhatan, attacking villages that held large food stores. In 1611, the English attacked the village of Kicquetan, which had acres and acres of corn. And they're using a lot of the same tactics that they used against the Irish some years earlier. Kicquetan today is the city of Hampton. It's the oldest continuously English-speaking city in America, Hampton, Virginia. And it's about 20 miles from here. Where's everybody visiting from?
Rochester, New York.
Rochester, welcome, welcome, from way up in northern Virginia.
Well, way up.
Yeah. In 1610, all of America was Virginia. William Byrd said this in 1632. He said, before it was America, all of America was Virginia. The Spanish control most of the area south of what's today South Carolina, from Cape Fear south down to Florida, which is a strong Spanish stronghold, and all across the south and southern United States and southwest. The English are really mainly concerned with the Spanish from day one, but an attack is never carried out by the Spanish, although King Philip had threatened to send troops here to Virginia to put down, to drive the English out of the New World. It never happens. Hey, can anybody tell me what that red cross stands for?
St. George's Cross.
St. George's Cross. Cross of St. George, the patron saint of England.
yeah. Enough one.
Yes, you do.
Nice.
Thank you.
Certainly, y'all enjoy your visit.
Thank you.
1610, the English are, I spoke of the new charter that the English are under. The Virginia Company writes a set of laws called the laws moral, martial, and divine that were enacted during this time period. And one of those laws stated that if a colonist stole a single ear of corn, he could be executed for this offense. Any English that runs away to a